What's up, guys? My name is Ian Isbell with Team Rockensock. With me, as always, Eddie Rockensock. We're here today to bring you a video topic of what to look for when buying a home. Eddie kind of broke this down when we first started hanging out and getting into real estate together of what he does with his clients. And tell me how you kind of address that situation, because as you very well know, when you go to buy a home, you sit down and you have a husband that wants to see this, a wife that wants to see this. How do you get everybody on the same page?
Yeah, great start. So I had a broker when I very first started. He sat me down one time. He said, we need to identify needs and wants, right? So sit down with a couple, anybody, buyer, put a piece of paper in front of them. All right, write the 5 things that are must-haves in this house. Got to have it no matter what. Write those 5 things down, slide the paper back, read them all, and then say, okay, now which one are you willing to give up? Because you can't find the perfect home. You can find some that checks most of the boxes. It's just, you'd be surprised how often people say, I love this, and it means number 5 doesn't mean anything to me because I like this one so much.
Yeah. You find a house that enough of the boxes are checked. I tell my clients when we're going into houses to tour and we're kind of starting that process, you could start your dream house build today, and by the time you finished it, you'd have wished you changed a bunch of stuff. Yeah. I'm like, so the dream house is out there, I'm sure, but like there's something you would always change. So, like you said, check your big boxes, your school zones, your square footages. Kind of look at how long am I going to be here? Do I need a family plan for this house? Am I going to have 4 kids while I'm living here? Or
Yeah.
is this my starter home and I'm going to move to a next? I think you really knock out some of those bigger questions now. That way you don't move into something and then 6 months you're like, oh God, this doesn't work anymore.
Absolutely. And I've also had people say, there's no way I can live under 2,000 square feet. So all we do is look at 2,000 square feet and above and can't find anything. And then we say, hey, let's just play around with this one. And then the first house I show them at 1,800 square feet is absolutely perfect, and they buy that one. And the reason is because 2,000 square feet laid out bad feels small. Or excuse me, 3,000 square feet laid out bad looks small. 1,800, 2,000 laid out correctly looks big, right? So you could just never know what you need until you see it.
If you've got that open floor plan. I find
That's
too,
true.
when we talk about like kind of what you need and making sure that you iron that out on the front end. When we've done this hundreds of times, transactions, buying and selling stuff. So when you're newer to the process, and you're like, I just want to buy a home, you have people sit down with you. How many times do you have a client come in and they explain their perfect product like in the moment, and the house you close on doesn't fit any of those.
That's right.
Like,
That's
it's
right.
not. I have so many guys come to me and they're like, "Man, I'd love something I can put some sweat equity into. I can build out on, and all this stuff." And they buy a new construction
That's
like
right.
in a totally different area. So
Yeah.
it's funny how that always works out. So I think that's why it's good to sit down with people and have them fill it out on paper. Take it for a couple of days. Think about this.
That's right.
You're about to make a big money decision. And iron those out. So, anything else to add on what to look for?
Yeah, so I think the interesting thing is to kind of know your role when we're going, right? So high level, right? Hire the right realtor, find your needs and wants, get the right lender, know what your buying power is. Now we're starting to look when we're in a house. What are we looking for, right? Most of the time, buyers are going to walk in that front door and they're going to see their kids playing or craft over here or family coming into here, a chance of entertaining, all of those kind of their life. Realtor's not looking at how I'm spending my life there. I'm not trying to put myself in there. I'm looking at the bones of the house, right? We're looking at the drywall. We're looking at the flooring. We're looking at the features that'll help us give the best advice. So I think an important thing is make sure that you know what you're looking for and then take the advice on the experts on the other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell everybody, it's like you're not going to get talked into a house you don't want.
That's right.
And if you do, you might need to look at something else in your life. You're not going to get talked into a house. You find the house you love. My job here is to make sure you know exactly what you're getting.
That's
There's
right.
I tell people surprises are for birthdays and Christmas. We're not going to do them in a real estate transaction. So that's kind of our job, is to make sure that the process goes smooth, and our processes are second to none. processes are smooth and we've got the best professionals behind us. So if something does come up, we can solve it quickly and economically. So very cool. That's all I've got today. You got anything else to add?
You guys have any questions, obviously, reach out, and we're here for you. I guess.